What is it?
Well, it's called a randomizer, and it's fitted to the guidance systems and operates under a very complex scientific principle called potluck. Now, no one knows where we're going. Not even the Black Guardian.
Not even us.
Hello and welcome to episode 24 of the Randomizer podcast. I'm Tim.
And I'm Chaz. Episode 24. We have a new headquarters. We've moved into Paradise Towers.
Oh man, are these jokes gonna... Well, after episode 26, what we're gonna be, this 27 will have to be the TV movie. So we've watched Chapter 5 of Flux, Survivors of the Plot. Survivors of the Flux. The cracks are beginning to show for me, only a little. It was still fun.
Yeah, I agree.
Again, bunch of notes. The intertitle from Chapter 4, the interruption to the title sequence at the end, could have totally been at the top of this episode.
Yeah, it would have actually probably helped a little because you went straight into Jodie being de-angeled, and so we sort of guessed, I think most people had guessed it was a way of transporting her. You could have left it a bit longer just to give a bit of jeopardy because it was such a great cliffhanger, and it was like back. 2 seconds and it's finished, and it's like,
well, they did have 2 bites at the cherry with re-angeling.
Yeah, I know, but it kind of, it diminished it ever so slightly.
So it would have been nice to delay that a little bit.
Yeah.
Although maybe we'd have just been watching the nice and gentle Belle and Vinder scene going, come on, we don't care, get back to Jodie.
Probably, but I think as a pre-title sequence it would have been okay, or,
And you pointed out, I didn't notice, Jodie's voice was the angel talking back to her.
She was whispering. It's, like you said, it's very obvious once you've heard it.
I can't unhear it now.
You can't unhear it, but it was good. I do like what they've done, because with Jericho it was obviously him.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really good idea of your own voice that is different, a different inflection to it or something.
Yeah.
That was a nice touch.
Keeps it creepy. I loved Yaz in this episode.
Yeah, she was great, actually. I think it was probably her episode in a lot of ways.
It's leading and, being confident and, a lot of sort of fairly slapstick stuff as they fall into the tomb multiple times.
Although I do think it basically says Yaz maybe took an engineering degree or something.
Well, she had 3 years.
Well, no, I'm talking about previously, because she seems to be sort of very, very good on counterweights and pulley systems.
Yeah. Now, I'm bracing myself because you did point out there seemed to be a lot of candles in that tomb.
Yes. Now,
Candle rant too.
Couple of things. Now, I really liked the fact that she said we need to put it all back the way it was because, it's a post-imperial thing, so I can understand all that. But that's a sealed tomb. Who the fuck is lighting all the candles? There's a lot of candles in there. I know I've already ranted about fucking candles in the TV movie and that.
Episode 23.
Yep. And sort of fire risk. They should have at least a smoke alarm in there. But I mean, is there a secret entrance?
If they're everlasting candles.
Yeah, maybe. It's like nobody thought, hang on, doesn't someone have to light these?
Maybe the snake enemy was hiding behind something and had just fallen asleep.
Decided to light some candles?
Well, he came in, lit some candles, lay in wait, and then...
So he brought the candles with him?
Yeah, missing scene, deleted scene. So he could see when he pounced on them.
Yeah.
Very plausible.
You're stretching.
I am. I need the exercise, frankly. So, when we're in Tecteun's ship, the tree badge
thing that keeps them
sort of
tethered
between universes, and we noticed the Vision people were wearing that. My theory as to how they escape or how Jodie gets out of there is going to be to rip the badge off.
Yeah, it seems pretty. That seems quite likely. Although it's difficult because the cliffhanger has Swarm reaching towards Jodie. Now I think he's actually reaching towards the Watch. It's a really crap cliffhanger. You're not going to kill the Doctor, are you?
Oh, you'll be eating your words in a few days.
Well, yeah, I mean, maybe that's Chibnall's ultimate revenge. He's going to kill the show off completely before RTD can get his hands on it.
We do see the sort of disintegrating hand effect again in the next time clip. As Jodie, I think she's reaching for the spooky house.
Yeah.
I wondered if that was where the memories are.
I think so. I think maybe a lot of the memories go back to the house.
As Zero opens up the fob watch, it looks like Jodie's being sucked into the Capaldi titles.
Yeah, it does a bit. It's like a pensive in Harry Potter. You know, that whole thing that you get sort of, you're there in the memories. She's regaining the memories, but I would imagine as a plot device, they'll have her there so that you can show it to, you know, people.
I love the big pink leaf tree in
Oh, it's beautiful, yeah. Rather large bonsai.
It's sort of TARDIS-y enough to sort of feel right.
I remember David Legg saying about the last couple of years the design has been like bland and meh. Well, a lot of things, you know, you go to a lot of sets. You look at the Pating one, that spaceship was
just corridors, I remember.
Nothing.
Really, but
whereas in this season, the design has been a lot nicer.
Yeah.
You know, they've really upped the ante. I mean, I'm trying to be as positive as possible, like I said before, because there is a lot to like. But I agree with you. Cracks are showing. It's very surface level.
I have a big theory though, which I'd appreciate your thoughts on. So,
Okay.
Have you noticed sometimes they say the division, sometimes they just say division.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense, blah blah blah. But no, I think there are two of them. Maybe it's a Judean People's Front thing.
A Judoon People's Front.
That's the People's Front of the Judoon.
Fuck off with the Judoon People's Front.
What have the Time Lords ever done for us?
The People's Front of Judoon. I love it. There's the title.
Oh god, yeah. I loved One Lump or Two was a great pun, and it's a good job he didn't ask for two.
Yeah, Jesus. I was a bit confused by that scene. Maybe I was just reading too much into it. But Dan seemed to, when he got under the bed, God.
3 years of that, do you think?
Yeah, jeez. He got under the bed and he sort of looked when the guy came in. He seemed a bit suspicious, and so was Yaz. Now, okay, I know they said, "Oh, I'm new here," but it was like the shoes seemed to mean something. Maybe it was just because his shoes were slightly nicer than
snakes on them or anything.
Oh God, well they may well have had. My eyesight was sort of given up on a lot of details.
I didn't notice anything. It was just something in the kind of atmosphere and rhythm of it.
And Yaz was excellent in it because, you know, police training kicked in. She subdued the guy.
Isn't it just frustratingly close to being a master anagram that Serpent is nearly an anagram apprentice?
Yes, that's actually very, very good.
If he was Sir Pint.
Sir Pint.
Now we're doing
Sir
Holy
Pint's a
Grail.
lot.
Yeah. But the snake is very Robert's master.
Pertwee had a tattoo of a snake from when he was in the Navy.
He's a double agent all this time.
From when he was in the Navy, but obviously, Doctor Who fans, it's on screen, so they have to make something up. So I think the fan theory is that the snake is a prison mark. He's exiled. Remember in the Doctor's Wife? Corsair, he had the snake tattoo as well. He had the Ouroboros thing, you know, the snake eating its tail.
Well, that means he's just out of Red Dwarf then.
He's maybe Rob or Ross. Prentice was interesting. I kind of liked the whole he's manipulating Unit from the very beginning, literally so he can get the chance to shut them down before the Suntans invade. But it seems like a lot of effort to go through.
I mean, just sabotage them before they get going.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something about established history or nexus points. Or
I suppose, you know, he's sort of inserting himself into it, but not changing anything. I don't know if I need to apologise to Chibnall for saying, well, you know, he basically destroyed Unit for a lame joke, or whether this was a retcon. I'm kind of going with the fact that this was his plan originally. And the Kate Stewart scene was excellent. I'm really pleased that she's in it. Unit, I think, obviously will be back, so I suppose that's okay. I just wish it hadn't been made all jokey. Brigadier.
Yes,
got
that
his
was
little
nice.
cameo, which was really lovely. And they mentioned the war machines.
Yes, or implied them with the post office business. The Doctor is now Blake from Blake 7. You know, former freedom fighter, had their mind wiped and being awoken to their past. So what was Ossock, Barbara Flynn's name in the credits before
I thought it was Aswad.
Well, yeah, I mean, I thought Aswalk, and was all set with lots of lovely walk puns, but was it an acronym for something?
Because everybody had sort of thought it was Tecteun anyway.
Yeah, I'd sort of gone away from that. It seemed a possibility. The other theory was that this was a doctor, of course, as well.
Well, yeah. But the other thing was, once Azure and Swarm entered, she was a bit slightly outraged, but completely passive about it, and then Swarm just came up and...
Presumably she's dead.
Yeah, it reminded me a bit of the Deadly Assassin, which we will get into, but it's like the way Time Lord Society is just so ancient and decrepit.
Remember how passive Brendan was at the end of Ascension of the Cybermen as they strap him into the whatever it was. And maybe a pacing thing again. These are the cracks that are being shown. I mean, I've got to say, amidst all these little nitpicks, I just had tremendous fun watching it. Yeah. One more nitpick, actually. I didn't like that Diane was, oh hooray, someone with a gun. I've seen a screenshot from the BBC Flux account of Diane holding that gun next week. They're in a forest. It's a shot of her with Vinder, but they're against sort of greenery trees. Oh, right. Okay. So whether passengers got a garden centre or something.
Well, it could be. Maybe they captured the forest of the night.
The Comedy Hermits was just right on the edge for me.
I enjoyed it, but yeah, I mean, I suppose it sort of just went slightly over. The one line I did enjoy was, I don't get a chance to tease people very much. I did like that. I thought that was quite good.
It was fun. At last, more than a fleeting glimpse of Sideburns, Williamson.
Yeah, he was wonderful. He was brilliant. I loved that he walks into the ship going, "Sir, do you mock me?"
Here's the theory. The hairier the character, the more fun they are. Because you got Carvanista, obviously.
Oh, he's great.
Topping the tree. But yeah, I think he's a close second.
I want Joseph Williamson in Doctor Who, after Flux. I want him wandering into scenes and muttering to himself and walking out.
He'll need another dimension to the character.
He's just wonderful. He's absolutely wonderful.
And then, of course, the big reveal, the Sontarans are back, which is a little bit anticlimactic. However, I have another theory. They're going to just be a front for the Vardens.
Oh, yeah. I like Sontarans. I like the lead actor that's portraying them. He's very good, although the Scottish is still coming out.
I hadn't noticed.
But it was like, okay, they invaded 2 weeks ago. They're back. Are we supposed to get too excited about that?
Yeah, well, there were glimpses of more others.
Yeah, I mean, okay, in the trailer we saw other Daleks. We've already seen them, so none of that's a surprise. None of it is massively that exciting. I liked the Sontarans, as I say, in the previous episode, so it's okay, it's nice to see them back, but unless it's a Sontaran episode, which I don't think it's going to be, I think it's going to be more focused on more exposition.
Well, we'll see. There's a lot of things in the air to land.
Yeah.
Next week. It's an hour long, I think we noticed. So
yeah, I think it probably do be a bit longer, but I really suspect we're going to get another exposition episode, and this episode, as I say, there was a hell of a lot of talking, and which I don't mind in general. I think I appreciate it, but you really have to balance it a bit better. That's why the Yaz stuff was a lot more interesting and fun, because they were doing stuff. Totally. The Doctor was standing talking to someone for the entire episode. It's
Timeless Children again, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, we've had the reliability of the Master's account confirmed, or at least asserted.
Oh, goody.
By Tecteun. I think it's a shame that we're robbed of more depth to their confrontation, and it's weird the way Jodie doesn't address what is essentially years of abuse, or the constant experimentation.
Too much surface level, not enough actual depth to it.
I was a little interested in Jodie's suggestion that Tecteun assumed she'd come through this portal. and maybe she's waiting to go through. Or maybe
You just wait there. I'm going to see a man about a dog. You know. Our parents have gone off to the bookies, got some money, and they're going to take her to the cinema, which is that big building. Tech Tune turns up, and basically the parents have put out an Amber Alert saying a missing child.
So like there's cosmic lampposts with a picture of
have you seen this kid?
First incarnation.
Yeah, have you seen this kid?
Or this kid, or this kid, or this kid.
Exactly.
It's not a lamppost big enough.
Yeah, true.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I expect it's going to be fun.
I'm enjoying it, and as I say, that's always my litmus test.
Yeah.
As long as I'm having fun, it's fun. I don't think it's brilliant, but as I said to Connor, it doesn't matter too much because this is the best Doctor Who's been in about 3 years.
Moments
at least.
of brilliance for sure.
So
many moments of brilliance, I would say.
Although Connor did say but to be fair, that's a whole bar.
I mean, it's the direction you want it to be going in.
Yeah, of course.
So next time it will be the final chapter.
Yeah, the Vanquishers, I believe.
The Van Squishers.
Van Squishers, yeah.
Yeah.
A man is the sum of his memories, you know, a Time Lord even more so.
It is time for your cheating memory. We've randomly selected an old episode of Doctor Who, and last time it was The Deadly Assassin. Rather nicely after we'd been speculating about the links between that story and the TV movie.
Yeah.
So we rewatched it. My first note is maybe Mary Whitehouse had a point. That third episode is brutal.
It is pretty brutal. I mean, I will never ever sort of go down the route of I agree with Mary Whitehouse because she was an arsehole. But having said that, yes, it was brutal. And I can see why there was a little bit of controversy over it. It was certainly a lot more brutal than I'm used to in Doctor Who. I don't mind that. I think, it added to the tension. It was great. Episode 3 is a sort of an oasis within the middle of the story because you're really not expecting outside broadcast thing, and you get all this match, and it is freaky as fuck.
I mean, it's like getting to the oasis and finding it's war-torn.
I mean, you've got biplanes, you've got a fucking miniature railway, you've got a clown. It's insane.
They work hard to make the railway actually threatening. It's a little weak, but it's speeded up just enough to.
Oh yeah.
And actually, I'm more sort of scared and unsettled by him getting his foot trapped in the points of the railway line.
Yeah, that was nasty.
But, so much of it. And I think actually a lot of the focus on the complaints against it were on that final edited shot of the drowning, but actually it's more the sort of unrelenting and continually different kind of orders that come throughout. And, Goth is set on fire at one point.
I know.
I mean, it's a sort of writer's blank check. They could sort of throw anything they wanted and had up their sleeves at it, but it does a good job of just keeping the tension going. And, like you say, completely different look, obviously being on film and on location. So let's talk about the rest of it.
I mean, it's based loosely on the Manchurian Candidate.
Oh yes, and not the Mancunian Candidate.
No, shut up.
I enjoyed that. The political assassination plots. Yeah, I've never seen it. So.
It's very, very good. And it was a clever way of doing it. They framed the Doctor and the whole thing with Elgin and Spandrel, Elgin being...
Engen.
Oh, God.
We've got celebrity misnamings to towns.
Engen and Spangle.
Elgin and Spangle. It's like a Strictly act.
Yeah, it is. But, him sort of saying, oh, no, this is not possible, and the Doctor pointing out, this tech is about 500 years out of date.
Yeah, the stuffiness of it.
It really does portray what I was saying before about Gallifrey and that arrogance. They're just dusty. It's like because they're able to regenerate, there's no advance in things. It's sort of stagnant society, and I suspect that's why at the time fans were a bit outraged by it because Time Lords were supposed to be powerful, and this kind of showed them up.
They're not
as
cool
being
in any way, are they?
Yeah. And this was voted at the time one of the worst Doctor Who stories.
I know it's fairly regarded as a classic, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's revered now. That entire season is revered. But, this just shows you what fans or as I call them, arseholes, just don't rely on them and don't sort of listen to them, because they honestly, they see something once or twice and they make snap judgments on it.
Like, how hypocritical are we from what we were talking about 10 minutes ago?
No, but my point is that, it's fun to do this sort of thing, but it doesn't necessarily mean that in a couple of years, I might not have changed my mind.
35 years we're going, remember Flux? It's not like the shite we have nowadays.
I just think sometimes you've just got to relax about things. I mean, I'm reacting for comedy purposes, but I don't honestly give a shit whether Flux changes things or not.
Myself, at least, there's a lot less anxiety because we know the show's secured for a few years.
Yeah.
What else did I write down about this? Episode 1, we noticed credited Peter Pratt as the Master.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a shame. I don't know if there was any pre-publicity about the Master's return as a character.
I suppose there could have been. I mean, I do think it's a shame, because really and truly you could have got away with that being, just someone else, something else, a figure.
Aswok.
Call it the figure, Aswok. But, obviously by episode 2, when it's mentioned that it's the
You've
Master
had
and all
the shrunk
that. Yeah, so it's pretty obvious by then, but it would have been a nice, thing.
Yeah, title sequence graphics in line in the show as they go into the Matrix. I was like that.
They don't do that very often, but it is nice when
we've
they
had
do.
the Hartnell titles appeared on Dalek monitors and also the very first TARDIS journey.
Yeah, there's also in one of our favourite stories that we're praying to get, Day of the Daleks, when they've got the Pertwee titles.
So they do.
And, there was no complications to doing that.
And I want a Big Finish spin-off of Spandrel and Endgame.
They're so good,
They're just
they?
lovely. I mean, I think both actors have died.
I think so, yeah. I think they died quite a while ago. Yeah. I mean, you've got Jago and Lightfoot. Mm-hmm. It's Engen and
Spangle and Endron.
Spangle and Elgin. Oh, God. Those two would make a great team.
Yeah. Barusa's wonderful as well.
He's great.
And he's got some great dialogue, especially at the end when they're doing the whole political cover-up.
He's a real master manipulator. You know? It's all about surface level, not letting anybody know. But it's a bit like what I said about division. I think there's not a country in the world that doesn't have some sort of covert organisation working for them.
Maybe Liechtenstein. Do you know my favourite fact about Liechtenstein? They sent their army off to invade the neighbouring country. There was 100 soldiers. They came back. It came back 101 because they made a friend. So it's the first mention of all the Rassilon stuff.
Yeah, and some interesting stuff as well, because obviously we get that thing that about the Eye of Harmony, and that it may neither flux nor wither nor
flux.
Yeah. So
look, when I give the word, press the button. The big one? Yes, maybe it works in conjunction with the others.
Lovely story, great fun. Should we choose another?
Yeah, sure.
Like, no.
All right, well, let's try and find out. Now, what could it be?
The Evil of the Daleks.
No.
Yes.
Oh, thank fuck it's been reconstructed.
Just in time.
My God. No, that's fine. I actually just watched it a few weeks ago, but I'm quite happy about watching that one again.
I haven't seen the new version, but I did watch the loose cannon reconstruction in my
well,
watch
thankfully
through.
I don't have to watch that.
Maybe we should should dip into a scene or two just to see what you're missing.
No.
just to make you truly grateful.
No. And we can watch it in colour.
Ooh,
in widescreen. And in high def.
Do we have to do both?
No. What?
We've got two TVs.
I've seen the black and white version. There's no difference other than they've turned the colour down and it's 4.3.
Right.
Whereas the colour version is wide, 16 by 9.
But that must fundamentally change the framing of the shots.
Yeah, but remember it's animated. They can fill it out and stuff.
Sure, but I would expect the animation to reproduce in 4:3 what they know of
I think that's the whole point. That one is for...
That's the one I want to watch.
Oh, God.
I'm watching colour layer.
No, it's 6 parts. I'm not watching it twice.
Well, you don't have to.
All right, I'll give you a loan.
It's a family at war, folks.
Yeah. No, it's fine. But I'm really happy about that one because Patrick Troughton
that exists in a new form. Yeah.
No, that's good. Yep, definitely happy about that one.
Great.
I accept your challenge.
Oh, you do you?
So it's challenge time. Now, Chaz has been tasked with watching The Mutants, a story he's never managed to sit through. So have you managed to watch it?
Basically, as you know, I've been doing my Christmas decorations.
Do I know it?
Yeah.
How many trees have you got?
3. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I bought a new tree for my living room, nice 8-foot one, and it's all decorated. And I didn't have a sort of star thing for the top. And Connor and Bronte, his girlfriend, got me an early Christmas present.
Ooh.
Which I was really pleased about, which was a weeping angel. You know, like a sort of large one for the top of the tree.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, and I thought, oh, that's cool. And I'd got another copy of The Mutants, despite what Tim Davey said. I sat down and I noticed the tree, maybe I suppose it was a loose wire or something, because the lights started to blink a bit.
Oh, yeah.
It kept happening, and I sort of turned around and the tree seemed to be getting closer. And then I sort of looked away, and the next thing I know, there was an angel there. And I was like, fuck. And I thought, what do I do? Blinked, and it was right at me. So I grabbed the copy of The Mutants and I just bashed it. Now, the angel unfortunately touched the copy of The Mutants and the angel disappeared. Is that back in time to the past?
Well, next week?
Yeah, sure.
This way, quickly, before the monster comes back.
It is time, yet again, for Monster by Monster. And we're going to randomly select some monsters and aliens from the history of the show and say things about them. So, first one this time is 83. Ah, the Mandrels.
Oh!
Nightmare of Eden?
Yep. They were interesting.
They were the drugs.
That's right.
The drugs.
Yeah.
It's a drug plot, quite a
because
on point one as well.
Yeah, there was an episode of Brass Eye where they were doing a drugs episode. Cake, and the drug dealers use a mandrel to deliver the drugs. It's the sort of thing you would expect David Bowie to wear.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm not a million miles away from getting to Nightmare of Eden in my rewatch. I'm just about to hit that season, so...
Oh, yeah.
Hey. All right, let's do another. 161.
Yay.
That is the Hath.
The Hath.
Now, I can even hear David Tennant saying it.
Is that...
Bottles in their mouths, Doctor's Daughter.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's
I thought they were quite... they were hell of a good design.
Yeah, really distinctive with the bubbling
it's
water.
Actually, it's an incredibly sad episode because the Hath dies at the end, and it really affects Martha.
They weren't evil monsters. They were just another alien
like
race.
Ood.
Exactly. Sort of take you back with their looks at first, but then
Yeah.
a bit like us, really.
Well, see, this is you especially. I mean, I am.
You've always got a bubbling bottle of Pepsi Max in your cup.
Yeah, but I am an eternal pretty boy. That's how I've been described.
Pricky.
Pretty.
Okay.
Anyway, I like the Hath. They reappeared in the last David Tennant at the bar.
Every single other thing in the whole
of
era.
course.
Yeah. 50. That was the Drashigs.
Yay!
Infamously an anagram of dish rags.
Yeah, and they were sock puppets.
Yeah.
More or less. But filmed beautifully. I mean, it was a really nice scene when they crashed through the minuscope. I mean, they've never had them back. There's not a lot to them other than they are ravenous, dinosaur type monster or whatever. In the episode, they served a hell of a purpose, and they are very memorable for that one appearance.
They sort of lived on in memory, perhaps because of their slight clunkiness, but it's definitely an era where the show struggled to do big monsters, what with the dinosaurs and then Kroll, of course, later on. But in themselves, the sort of toothy mouths and their screeching noise is quite unsettling. And
oh yeah, definitely.
Just that thing of, again, maybe if they would be not in broad daylight so much.
Yeah, well, I suppose that's why they work better when they come through the minuscule, because it's slightly muted. But
and the incongruity of that's very nice as well.
Yeah.
Let's do one more monster or alien. 16, back we go.
Jeez.
The Rills.
The Rills.
Galaxy 4.
Oh, which has just come out.
Yeah, another one we could rewatch in safety.
Yeah, I don't remember much. I haven't seen Galaxy 4. I think there's an episode now exists, so that's Airlock.
Yeah.
So I did see that, but it's so long ago I have no real memory. But now that it's been reconstructed,
yeah,
I'd be quite up for that one.
It's even better than the real thing. Sorry, couldn't resist it. No, the rails are they're sort of unclear at first through smoke, and so they're nicely hinted at for a while, and then you get glimpses of a strange and unsettling creature. But it's one of the sort of early examples of Doctor Who having a nice line in "Don't judge by appearances."
Yeah.
Much like with the Hath, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
And on that nicely linked up note, we will close the book on Monster by Monster for this week.
It's the end. But the moment has been prepared for.
9 times out of 10.
So, thank you for listening. If you'd like to get in touch, or if you've forgotten to write a witty outro for the show, we can be contacted by email at randomizerpodcast@gmail.com. Leave us a voice message at anchor.fm/randomizer, or follow us on Twitter at randomizerpod. And in all cases, points make prizes. What do points make?
Z. Actually, it's moving Z.
Oh, God. So, here we go with the random number generator.
You keep nodding. Hey guys, my best DJ voice.
The secret is to bang the rocks together. So, it's challenge time. And I've asked Chaz to watch The Mutants, a story he's never managed to sit through. So, have you managed to watch it?
Yeah.
Great. Oh, that's fantastic. So, tell me what you thought.
I'm teasing you.